Welcome, welcome. Ooh, hope this chair is sturdy. Let me go ahead and send some invites. Hey, what's up, Johnny? What's up, Mamiana? What's up, Susie? How y'all doing? Happy Sunday. Let me go ahead and share this live with a few friends. How's everyone doing in here? Hope everyone is doing well. If you hadn't had an opportunity to go ahead and share this live with a friend, go ahead and help me out if you will. I want to see how many people we can get in here in the next 5 minutes. So let's go ahead and share the live with some friends. Hey, Jeannie. Hey, Stephanie. Welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday, y'all. I'm over here. I'm gonna pull up my tablet. Yo, my nails are in the struggle, y'all. I want to give y'all the heads up. Hey, Casey. Last time you saw me, I don't think I have my makeup on yet. Um, hey, Latanya. Hey, Maria. Welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for joining. If you guys could please give me a little help with sharing the live, I'm going to share it as well. Hey, Yannick. Hey, Kyia. Welcome, welcome. I want to go ahead and get the room warmed up before I start bringing up tonight's guest. We have a panel tonight, so it should be really, really cool just to gain some different perspectives. So let me just go through a few things here before we get into tonight's nitty gritty. Of course, while you're here, if you can go ahead and tap the host box. I put a little reminder up here so that way you guys can keep the live going. Let's get it on the FYP page, get everyone involved. Also, if you can share this live with all your friends or just 5 at the very least, that would be great. So let me just pull up my screen here because there's a lot of little updates. I don't want to forget anything or anyone. So give me 1 second while I pull it up here. Y'all, I think, let me see something. Okay, here we go. So you guys know the Bari Mail Experience is live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific time. They are live every Taco Tuesday. So if that helps you remember, go ahead and check them out. In addition to that, we have on every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Anna and Kate, they're hosting the Bari Unfiltered podcast. They are, again, that's every Monday, 8 p.m. We have the Bari Sisters. They are live every Wednesday, so midweek. That's going to be 5:30 Pacific time, 6:30 Mountain time, 7:30 Central time, and 8:30 Eastern time. So that's on Wednesday. There's also a story time that happens Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central time. Let's see. There's also Bariatric Warrior Steph also coming. She comes up on Wednesdays. We still have the waiting table. Shout out to Bari Nation and Brian's show, which also is on here on TikTok. I'm just waiting for let me see what his hours are. Sorry, guys. I just want to make sure to give everyone love. Make sure y'all check them out. So Stephanie is on 7:30 p.m. And then Brian is 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check that out. I'm gonna see if I missed anyone. I apologize. I'm trying to get everyone's show, but certainly make sure you check them out. So how is everyone's Sunday going? I hope everyone's having a fantastical weekend, right? Another quick update. We did I did the vision board live at the beginning of the year, or at the end of last year, entering the beginning of this year. I'm going to be hosting a follow-up live to the vision board live so that we can do a check-in and see how everyone's doing. Let's see if everyone needs a little recharge, where we are with our goals, what we're trying to accomplish for 2024. So if you missed the vision board live and you want to go ahead and tune into that, Just look out for that. I'm going to be posting the dates very, very soon. Also, myself and the Berry Mel Experience, we're going to be posting our replays. Most of my replays are up on YouTube. So if you go ahead and check the link in the bio, you can go ahead and subscribe. You'll get the updates. So if you can't make it to either one of our lives, you can always catch the replay on YouTube. So make sure you check that out. Welcome, welcome. I see you guys coming in. Thank you so much for sharing this live with your friends. Thank you so much for the gifts. Tonight's a good night, guys. We are talking DS, duodenal switch or duodenal switch, potato, tomato, tomato. I don't know the right pronunciation, but we've got some folks who have firsthand experience with this procedure. So we're going to start bringing them up in just a moment. I don't know if y'all taking y'all supplements. If you haven't, make sure you take your supplements. Y'all know I'm a pro care girly. So if you are interested in your chewable, they have the chewable version of the supplements. They have the capsules and they have an easy to swallow version of their supplements. Of course, I got a link in the bio. So if you're ordering vitamins already and you just want the discount, you can use code VSG Bestie and you can go ahead and utilize that 10% discount off your Pro Care order. Additionally, another update. Hey, Rags. Another update, April 24th. If you haven't joined Bari Connected on Facebook, I'm going to need y'all to go right ahead, check out the link in my bio, follow the Bari Connected Facebook group. And I know, trust me, I know Facebook is just like, ooh, the book of faces be making us a little cringy. I understand, but this group is actually pretty darn valid. Hey, Jay, thank you for the gifts, friend. This group is very positive. There's a lot of uplifting folks in there. Hey, Shells. There's a lot of people who are just really pouring into one another. I will be a guest on the Bari Connected podcast on April 24th. So the day before my birthday, mark your calendars, April 24th. I will be a guest for ProCare's Bari Connected podcast. I will put the reminders in on my page so you guys don't miss it. But I would really, really appreciate all your support. So that way you guys can keep me all motivated. It's my first time. Well, not technically, it's not my first time on someone's podcast. I've been on other podcasts for like personal and work purposes, but for this particular thing, this is like the first time I'm doing something with a corporation. So this is really a big deal for me. So if y'all can check that out, it's on Facebook, on Book of Faces, link in bio. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start bringing up some of our guests. Are you guys excited about the guests tonight? Are y'all sipping y'all waters? This ain't water though. This is coffee. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Shells. Hey, TW. Hey, Selma. Welcome. Welcome. Let me see who else is here. Let's see. Regs, I saw you, friend. Latanya, thank you for the love, my dear. What's up, Jesse Lynn? Jay Salazar in the building. Dr. D. The Berry Sisters. Okay. Y'all make sure y'all follow the Berry Sisters. So, are y'all excited about the guests? Are y'all ready to bring the guests up? Should I bring them up? Y'all let me know. Okay, you about to eat dinner? Okay. Cool, cool, cool. What's up, Essence? How you doing, love? Let me go ahead and start sending these invites real quick. Let's see. I'm still waiting on, let me see. Let me send one. Let me send this invite real quick, y'all. Give me 1 second. Yo, you know what happened, right? So y'all know it's going to be 2 weeks since I had this baby, right? And for some reason, I don't know if this is a thing, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. After you have a kid, it's like your brain is scrambled. My brain is like oatmeals right now. It's just all over the place, just scrambled and just, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with me. But usually I'm way smoother than this, guys. So thank you so much for bearing with me while I'm gathering all my thoughts. I think it's probably the lack of sleep, if I'm being honest. I think when you're I won't say a new mommy because I'm technically not a new mommy, but when you have little babies like that, man, they be throwing off your sleep tremendously. You hear me? Tremendously. Let's see. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and bring my friends up. Hey, welcome, welcome. I'm still waiting on here, but we'll bring up our dear friend and Bari Encyclopedia, Kyia. Hey, girl. Hey.
What's up, everyone?
Y'all show my friends some love. Go ahead and share this live. This is not only my Bari friend, but she is also my zodiac twin. So if y'all love a Taurus, and even if y'all don't, y'all make sure y'all show us some love.
Taurus.
Yes. How you feeling, Kyia? How's your Sunday going?
My Sunday is going good. Today was active rest day, if you will.
Okay.
So I've been chilling. I got a nap in. My 7-year-old let me sleep for an hour.
Yes, sleep. Okay, period. Y'all underestimate the power of sleep, but sleep is important in this game. I don't know about y'all, but I need some more of that.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Let me tell you.
You got some time before you're going to recoup it all.
Don't remind me, because I literally just re-signed up for some BS, y'all. Yeah, sleep is, and definitely need more of that. Yes, I definitely need sleep, y'all. Are y'all getting y'all 8 hours of sleep in the chat? Go ahead and drop. How many hours are you guys sleeping? Because I want to see if I'm going to be jealous or not. Because right about now, I'm getting about 3 to 4 hours.
I might get
Johnny
4 or
said,
5.
No, 6
I'm
to
dealing
7.
with a dementia patient. I'm dealing with somebody with dementia, so that kind of throws it off a little bit. But I'm getting about anywhere between 4 and 6 sometimes. So
Gotcha. Definitely need more sleep. Look, hey, Auntie Lisi. Yeah, I feel that in my spirit. 4 to 5, Maggie. Oh, yeah, you're right there with me. You're probably up at the same times as me. I'm getting 3 to 4, 4 to 5 if I'm lucky. But sounds about right. I'm always up and down checking on everything. Look, I don't know about y'all, but I need a vacation. Okay? And I just started this whole new mommying thing. Magnesium glycinate helps you.
Right, Adrian.
Oh, I never heard of that. Y'all, did you hear about magnesium helping you with sleep?
Magnesium can help you sleep. You got to make sure you get the right ones, but you also need to compare it to what is in your vitamins and other things so that it doesn't counteract anything. But it's usually a pretty good one to look at or to try out. But you got a little baby, so he don't care.
Yeah, he's like,
he's pretty much gonna karate chop you in the throat if you try to sleep through him wanting you.
Listen, I know that we're waiting on 2 folks. I'm not sure if they're gonna pop in or not, so we're gonna work with what we got, and we're gonna go with the flow here. And since Kyia is on time and ready to go, Kyia,
Yes.
my dear, what in the heck led you to be a bariatric patient? What? How did you even get here? Like, where did the story start? I kind of know the story, but for those who don't know your story, how'd you get here?
I started off as one of those, I'm going to do all this natural. I don't need that kind of help. I can do this naturally. And I have lost 100 pounds probably like 3 or 4 times, maybe a little bit more in my life. And gained it back. Sometimes I gained it back really fast. Sometimes, over time. Cool, whatever. I'm going to just try again. I can do it. Until I had my daughter, who most of you know is 7. And I was like, I can't live a life of being sedentary with a 7-year-old. Well, she was younger than that at the time. So took her out to a play date, trying to be, good mommy, get her out and everything. And she fell off of something at the playground, well, where we had a play date. I could not get to her. I could not run. I could not climb through to where she had fallen. And that was when my brain was like, what if she had really been hurt instead of just kind of scaring herself? How would you have gotten to your baby? And so that right there was you need to do what you got to do to get yourself better. Had a a mostly easy pregnancy up until like the week before she was born, and that's where all my problems started. Developed pre-preeclampsia, if you will, is in their words. Um, the blood pressure just skyrocketed. I was like, I was definitely over stroke levels. I just didn't have those issues, and so my body just at that time started telling me things weren't right, basically. Um, had my daughter, got her healthy because she was in the NICU for 2 months. So stress upon stress upon stress, all that fun stuff. Plus, just trying to get life together, being a single mom. And one day I got on the scale and my scale said ERR, error. That was the first thing that was like, hold up. And so I was like, well, it can't be that bad. I said, let me change the batteries. Got the same message. After I got that message, I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm working. I'm doing whatever. I'm going to get me another scale. As much as it pained me to get a scale that actually said bariatric friendly on it, I did. That scale went up to 550. And that is when I found out that I was 504.
Okay.
I was like, 505? Wow. 5? That was, So I was like, okay. And then I lost about 60 pounds on my own. But after that, I would drop down like 10 pounds and I would gain 10 to 15, 10 to 15. But my back was killing me. I could not keep up with my daughter. I could not do things like I would take her outside and I would go sit down and just be like, you can't go past this area of where I can kind of jump up and save you from yourself or whatever else I need to do. And then that's when the playground incident happened not long after that. And I said, no, never again. And I went to my PCP who said, if this is truly what you want to do, I'm going to support you. She gave me a referral to one of the best clinics in Maryland, Center of Excellence, because that was very important when I started doing my own personal research into it, because I had looked into it before in the past and all of that. And so that was my big thing. Yeah. And that was the thing that kickstarted it.
Yeah. Someone asked how tall you are. I think it was Barry Mother. She said, how tall are you again?
I am 5'10". So that definitely kind of helps spread the weight out. And people will be like, oh, you weren't that big. Whatever. My back hurt. As the little thing says, my back hurt. And it was insane.
I know that's probably hard because, like, I can imagine feeling helpless trying to keep, because it's happened to me when you have little kids, they're on go. And I was on no. I was very much on,
you sit here.
Yes, you on go, and I'm trying to have you on no. But that, when you think about it, it's like, dang, not only was I kind of limiting myself, but I was also limiting my child in a sense. Did you feel any kind of like guilt at that time, being at your heaviest?
Definitely. There was a lot of guilt in not giving her the experiences that she deserved to have, in my opinion. Like, I've taken her places now in the last year or so, more than anything. Plus, we had COVID, so that kind of put a damper on some things. But that was really hard. Trying to, I took her to a farm, kid-friendly farm, all that kind of stuff, petting zoo type of vibe. And she's already kind of at the point where it was like, it was cool, but it's starting to wear off because she's a little bit older. And I was like, man, we should have been here like 3-4 years ago. But also COVID. Right. And my baby is immunocompromised and probably will be some form of immunocompromised for life. I'm immunocompromised because of asthma. But then this bariatric surgery also technically qualifies me to be immunocompromised for some time as well. Gotcha. And so I definitely dealt with a lot of guilt at first. And I was like, you know what? She's still young. We got plenty of time for, experiences still. She's still young enough that I can kind of, in a sense, make it up to her.
Gotcha. I know someone asked about your pre-op process. Before we jump into that question, how did you even conclude on doing the DS? And for those, again, who aren't familiar, am I saying it right? Is it duodenal switch or duodenal switch? Because I've heard it both ways.
I've heard it both ways, but my surgeon always says duodenal switch.
Okay.
And my surgeon is the one who suggested it. She said, I want to do the SADI, which is a form of the duodenal switch. Um, I told her originally I wanted a VSG. I said, I just want VSG. I want something simple done. And she was like, okay. She's like, but I need you to understand something. She's like, at 450, you may not, she said, not everybody, but she said, you may not get the results you want. For the amount of weight I kind of wanted to lose, which was, or it is like 200 plus. She was like, look, the bypass can get you kind of where you want to be. But she said, I'm gonna be honest with you, the SADI is kind of where I think you would do best. But I had never heard of the SADI. So I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know what that is. And so I had settled on, kind of accepting that the bypass was going to be it until I started doing more research. And when I say I did research, I looked up every portion of the duodenal switch. The duodenal switch is where the VSG came from, technically. So the surgery starts off with a sleeve, and they can choose to take 70% of your stomach up to 80. Some places will finagle it and do a little bit higher, but it's really not recommended to do more than 80%. And then they do a form of a bypass in your intestine. So the SADI, which is the single anastomosis duodenal ileal bypass or switch, is where you have one connection in your intestine. And the point of that one connection is to, kind of move the food through your stomach faster, through your intestines faster. And the important thing is how it helped eliminate a lot more risk to other people, to the people who were getting it, in terms of malnutrition and having issues with malabsorption. And so that was important to me. I was like, what at first? And I started looking into it. I started I found people. As much as we aren't crazy about Book of Faces in terms of their groups, I found like 3 groups. And I had 4, but one of them had to go. That's how sometimes you just gotta discern. But
gotta filter people out.
Yeah. And I found 3 groups that were really good information. The SADI is only like 12 to 15 years old. So I was really like, let me find some people who have been in it. I found a lady who had the surgery almost exactly 15 years ago. Now. And she's in her 70s. But when I tell you this lady looks amazing, like almost like Bari Girl 1, I was like, and then I've seen men and women who look amazing. The SADI and the DS are similar. The SADI is the baby DS, basically, modified DS. So you'll hear people say modified DS. Some people don't want to say the whole name. I say the whole name for awareness purposes and just to kind of keep my brain moving so that it's easy to explain.
You guys will learn this about Kyia as you go through this interview. She's a wealth of knowledge. I didn't even know that the VSG surgery stemmed from the DS. Like, I learned that through you. So that's actually pretty awesome, because it is literally like they cut along the length and then they're rerouting stuff, which is part 2 of it. So I was going to put up a picture of it, but you guys could just Google it, because not everyone wants to see what that looks like. I'm a visual person, but if y'all want to see the picture, let me know.
So I think the best part, like, I know some people get it, some people start off with just the sleeve. And then in Canada, I know a lot of times they do one part and then the other. Shout out to my Canada people who we've all talked and everything like that as well, who have it. But also here, sometimes they do it like that. So the SADI takes that same idea, the sleeve, and then at the same time you do the bypass portion so that you get the restriction and the malabsorption of some of your food, some of your nutrients, things like that. So there are the same types of issues that you would have with the VSG, with the bypass, sometimes just how your food processes and things like that. I've seen people ask in the comments, how does that work? And really what it is just that they're saying, okay, your BMI is this. Like it's usually recommended for people who are a BMI of 50 or higher. There are some places that do it a little bit lower. And what I see is that if you have just the traditional DS and your BMI is lower than 50, it starts being kind of scary sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Same thing with the SADI. If you get it when you are a little bit smaller than recommended, you got to be really careful and play around with your nutrients, your vitamins, and all of that kind of stuff. I enjoy the fact that I can eat. Like one thing my surgeon said to me was, you're going to have to eat. Like in my history, you can see where I was not eating. In this almost year since I've had surgery, you can see where like I was kind of afraid to eat. And then as I started doing better, like my lab work shows better. I'm actually getting ready to have 2 sets of lab work at the end of this month, Lord. Because my iron was low. My iron was to the point where they were like, we think you might have to do iron infusions.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, why? Right. I thought I was doing good, but apparently my body was saying otherwise.
Gotcha.
But you have a higher protein requirement. My clinic doesn't do calorie counts or anything like that. And I'm kind of okay with that. They're like, you're going to, as you eat the more protein and things like that, you're going to get their calories up anyway.
What's the protein requirement for DS? Because I know for me with the VSG, they were saying aim for like 90 grams. What was
the basic
what is
for my clinic? The base was for my clinic and for my body weight and all of that. They were like, you need to be back at 105. Like after surgery, they said, okay, you got 2 weeks of 60. You need to get 60 in. I was like, huh? And they were like, by 6 weeks, you need to be getting 80 in. I was not making all of that. I didn't make any of that. They were like, by the time you hit 3 months, we need you to be between 80 and 105 grams of protein.
3 months?
3 months. So
can y'all tell me which our protein requirement is in the chat? Because I'm very confused here. Go ahead and drop your protein requirements in the chat, because that was not, and this is what I'm saying, guys. Like, this is why I love getting other perspectives, because I've never heard that before. With me, they were like, well, whatever you can get in the first month was like, okay. But then after that, the goal was like 90 throughout this whole process. And look, we're getting a lot of different answers, 60 to 80. 100 grams more for bypass. Okay, so Kate's kind of on the same page with you in terms of over 100 grams. Tony says 60 to 70 grams according to my program. These programs are, Barry Miller says 60 to 80, and mine is now I'm at 160. Overachiever much.
Right. And it's crazy because like they're like when I go to my year checkup, which is the first week of April, I'll talk to my nutritionist again, my dietitian, nutritionist, and we'll go over some things, because she wants to talk to me mainly because I haven't seen her since I got to pay, and her prices are a little high. So I was like, I use her free resources. Like she sends me text messages and we'll go back and forth that way. That's free. But to actually see her is more money. But I already know that I'm supposed to be anywhere between a minimum now of 125 to the preferred of 175. And I was like, huh? And she was like, if you are getting your protein in like you need, you have this fullness and things like that, and you're getting where you need to be, that 175 is going to be your sweet spot. I am averaging 130 to 150 sometimes, not all the time, but that is where I am. And but I'm also in the gym 5 to 6 days a week. And so she was like, you got to factor that in. Okay. And that has been my savior. Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you, are you currently, is it just like meat proteins, plant-based proteins? Like, what does that look like with the DS? Because I know for some folks they can't eat certain things like beef because their new bougie belly can't tolerate that. Has anything changed for you in terms of like what proteins you can consume after surgery?
Um, I do eat some beef. Like I love me a good well cut steak, and every once
Yes.
in a while I'll do that. I marinate my steaks for 24 hours at the least because it makes them a little bit softer, a little bit more tender. So when I cook them,
Smart.
you know, that way. Chicken, still cool with me. I'm not a pork eater, so I don't eat pork. Seafood has been a lifesaver. Seafood and fish, I love. I don't do a lot of fried foods because let me tell you, the fried food and it's not that we don't get along. It's just that what's the point in me getting something that smells so delicious and I can only eat this little bit and then I have to be like, just sit it over there on the side. And there's
Right.
nothing more annoying than to have something that smells wonderful and you're all set. You think you're going to chow down and then it's like, nah. So I do plant-based protein as well.
Okay.
I like Boca burgers. I get and make my own sometimes. Black bean Chipotle burgers.
Okay.
It just really depends. But I do my veggies. I am big on I'm working on balance right now. Like I was protein, 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 but I'm really trying to get to protein and veggies more. Um, I get my water goals. I'm have absolutely no problem with water whatsoever. And
Okay.
have had no problem with water since the beginning. It's with the exception of like the first couple weeks. So the protein, the options I have, I tried to make sure that I stayed really diverse so that I wouldn't run into like, and I still have those issues, what I call flavor fatigue. And
Mm,
that is where like you have something so much because it's your safe food. Now you're like, I don't want that.
yeah.
It smell good.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
I think that was me
Mm-mm.
at the beginning because I was so scared to deviate because with VSG, they always talk about dumping. And to that point, did you get any dumping or did you experience any like changes when you started eating or introducing foods back into your diet after your liquid stage with the DS?
I've had no dumping, at least in how it was explained to me what dumping is. I had an instance of the foamies because I think I tried tuna when they told me to, go ahead and move to puree. But I can't do super wet tuna. And I was like, well, I'm going to do something to add to it. And I kept a little bit of the tuna juice, which sounds gross, but I kept it,
It
pretty
does.
soft. And it got right here. And then my body was
Oof.
just like, and it just sat there for a minute. And I was like, okay. And you just kind of sit and you talk to your body and tell it you love it. And after a while, you just feel the bubble and the foamies. And yeah. So I didn't have a direct, I haven't had any dumping, but the foamies I did experience within that first month. And I
Okay.
kind of learned what kind of took me there. And I was like, all right, well, no more dry
You
stuff.
you said something important. You learned what took you there. So I want to be super transparent. Everyone's journey is so different, right? We're all gonna do some
Mm-hmm.
trial and errors. I saw there was a question. Talia said, "What exactly is dumping?" The best way to describe dumping is when your body rejects something you ate in different ways. It can be from up top down below through your pores. It's just trying to eject whatever it is you ate that did not agree with your new
Mm-hmm.
berry tummy. So it looks very different for a lot of different people. Some people start getting hot flashes. Some people start feeling like they're having a heart attack. I've heard a wide spectrum of symptoms when it comes to dumping. Just know it's usually your body responding to something that it no longer agrees with your new bougie tummy because we all have bougie bellies, bougie couture tummies. So
Mm-hmm.
that hopefully that answers your question, Talia. But yeah, there's a lot of trial and error on this journey. I know just from talking to Kyia and I have been in the community for a little bit. Like even before she had surgery, she was already in the community. So if you are pre-op and you are in the community, kudos to you, because that's the best way to kind of get your feet wet and kind of learn what's happening. And while no two journeys are alike, did you find it helpful to have the community for the sake of like getting mentally prepared for the journey, Kyia? I know you do your own research, but did it help?
It 100% helped. I started my berry journey late July and of 2022.
Okay.
Shout out JoJo, because she was one of the first berry people I met in terms of
Oh,
just being on TikTok. And then the berry girls who cussed me out because I was still questioning what I was going to do. In love, she cussed me out in love, but still. But I got to see a plethora of people. I got to see people who regretted it. I got to see people who were happy they had it. I got to see people who whose views on things that they did I didn't agree with. I got to see views of people who I did agree with, who I was like, okay, this is the person who is doing the work that I feel like I'm going to need to do and I need to emulate. And so that was very important to me, because I was like, if I agree with this, if I want to be successful in this, because I was like, I'm only doing one bariatric surgery, and that's not for nobody else. That's just me. I'm on
right.
in what I know now from the day of the surgery. I'm only doing one surgery if I can help it, unless something major happens. So I was like, only one surgery. We're going to get this done. We're going to follow as much of the rules as possible. Because sometimes you be like, what? I'm not doing that.
Right.
But then in my brain, I'm like, but if you do this and you get results, then no matter how crazy it sounds, as long as it's not harmful to you or anyone else, you need to continue to do that. One of my weaknesses within any of my health journeys was tracking. I got you in the breakfast, I got you in lunch. Dinner, what did I have for dinner yesterday? Oh man, I don't remember. And so that's where I really struggled at first. And now I'm like, okay, I had this, I had this, I had this, I had this. I had all 6 of my meals plus 2 snacks, because I'm really supposed to be eating every 2 to 3 hours, which is insane to me.
Yeah.
And I appreciate now understanding, like, I still weigh some foods. I don't weigh everything, but I weigh some foods, especially if I'm going to be out and about all day. That's where I do my little Thursday, we got food at home things, to kind of remind myself, you don't have to go out and buy something. If you do, it's cool. But if you don't have to, don't waste all that food. You know, we have a lot of food waste within the bariatric community.
There is.
So there's that.
There is.
And sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes you
Right.
can. And so I tell people all the time, like, and I know you've heard me because you've laughed at me for saying it, but spices are your friends. Seasonings are your friends. You could turn almost anything into a different tasting thing with the right
Facts.
seasonings.
Facts. And we're not just
as long
talking
as you don't
salt and
oversalt.
pepper.
Right. Don't oversalt your food, because you're going to be mad later. But yeah. Also, just want to hit, I saw Janae ask earlier, I do not have low blood sugar issues. I think because I do eat a high, well, not high, but like a high carb / whole grain like snack before I go into workout. Just so to put that out there. But
Shout
yeah,
out
flavor is
to
definitely key, Tony.
Shout out to Talia. She said she went to her first consult on Friday and she's trying to absorb as much
Yeah.
info as possible. Congratulations. I'm going to pause for just a second just to remind you guys. Thank you so much. We're at 31,000 likes, 40 people in here. Thank you for showing my guests some love. We're going to keep things going. If you haven't shared this live with a friend yet, go ahead and share the live with 5 friends. We are live every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific time. Also, make sure you check out the Bari Mail Experience. They are live same time on Taco Tuesdays. So make sure you follow them. They're in the chat. Why did I say that? WT Barry and Tony D are the hosts for the Bari Mail Experience. So make sure you check them out. They're in the chat. They're super insightful. While the Bari Mail Experience is the male perspective, the ladies are welcome, and a lot of it is relatable. So make sure you check them out. So I want to make sure I didn't miss any questions here. We still have some time for some questions. Again, this is about the duodenal switch. the DS. We have Kyia. If you haven't started following Kyia, go ahead and give Kyia a follow. She is a wealth of knowledge. While she doesn't always come on camera because look, I'm honored because she don't do this camera stuff. But the fact that she jumped on camera, man, listen, I owe her a cupcake or something for her. It's gonna be plant-based though. I'm gonna make sure it's a healthy cupcake. And look, this woman, let me tell you what, she will keep me accountable about my water. So with that being said, I'm not drinking water, but I'm gonna drink something. So good time for a water check. We don't reward with food. Oh, okay, look. So I'm gonna send her a coupon for a pedicure or something. Since we don't reward with food anymore. That's a good point, Amanda. Hey,
Thank you, Tony.
Illy.
I had to. I was like, I had to be on camera for my girl, Taurus gang, gang. I want to touch on one thing.
Sure.
Talking about vitamins, because that is something that a lot of people have talked about, and I respect the fact that, everybody has a different take on vitamins, but I will just say that being okay with changing your vitamins if it's not working for you, and your blood work will tell you if it's not working for you, is probably one of the hardest things I had to do. I was Team Bari Life. I still recommend it to other people, but for me, Bari Life wasn't enough.
Gotcha.
And I am Team Celebrate now. Well, for some stuff, I'm Team Celebrate, Bari Life. Some things like the chews, I do the Bari Life chews. I also do the Bariatric Advantage chews. So getting over the price, the sticker shock, is insane for the vitamins. And people, oh, you can go get this and it's the same thing, and it's not. It's not.
I was going to ask you, how was that for you managing? You're a mom, you have expenses and stuff. Like, was it a big shocker when it came down to supplements, the food, maybe copays? I don't know if that's a thing. I know for some folks, the copays are exorbitant, but was it like a big surprise to you, the cost of like being a bariatric person?
Not a surprise. Like, people had said, it's expensive, this isn't, and my clinic was really upfront about the cost. They said you need to set aside about $80 to $130, and I was like, $80 to $130 in vitamins. They were like, for vitamins alone. They were like, that is a non-negotiable. You sign saying that you're gonna take your vitamins for life and everything. And as a person with the DS, the SADI, whatever, I have learned really quick what my body is going to do if I don't have the right vitamins in me. I am still kind of figuring everything out. When I get this blood work, we'll see if what I've been doing is working. I do feel a difference, because like when I first started having issues with my iron, I was cold. I mean, I knew the berry cold was coming. I knew it was coming, but I don't think I realized how much it was going to come and how much the iron played a part, until one day I was freezing and I went like this and saw, you see your nails. My nails, the bed of my nails was purple pink, blue purple pink. And I was like, it's not that cold outside. Iron deficiency anemia was visiting. And so I had to figure out something. I had to figure out what I was going to do. So iron, you need to make sure that you got your vitamin C while you're taking iron, and not just regular vitamin C. Please, add your fruits and veggies in, because the one thing that I have not really experienced on a regular basis, I had one day, and everybody told me that don't count because, but I had one day of constipation due to that iron, and I said, never again, baby, never again. And so I get my vitamin C in me. I get my veggies in me. I even take beetroot powder to help with the not blood pressure, but to help with the iron and things like that. I had high blood pressure meds that I was on. I officially stopped them in January, even though my blood pressure was good before that. But my care team was very cautious, and they were like, we're just going to step down. We're going to use a smaller amount, smaller dosage, all of that. And I am thankful for that, because I have been maintaining.
Okay.
And it's very important to me to to stay committed to my vitamins.
Gotcha. Now I'm gonna go back to 40 minutes ago. I'm gonna go because it just dawned on me. Shells had asked about the pre-op process. Was it a long approval time for you to get approved for the surgery? What was that like? Your pre-op?
My pre-op was 6 months, and they misquoted me because they were like, "Oh, well, you should be done and have your surgery by January, February." My surgeon is amazing. And I'm in Baltimore, Maryland area. And she actually hadn't been with the clinic that long, but our clinic was already a really good clinic. She came from Kansas and then to North Carolina. She was with, I believe, Rex Bariatrics. Some of y'all may know that name. And then she is up here in Maryland with Maryland Bariatrics Ascension St. Agnes. When I met her, I was like, wow, she drew color coordinated diagrams of every surgery to help me understand what was going on.
Oh, I like that.
Right. So my bariatric process was 6 months. The first month is just, you getting your list of requirements, your setting up your appointments and things like that as much as possible, if you really want it, because, it's up to you to set those appointments.
Right.
I reached out to my nutritionist immediately. I'm like, hey, how soon do we talk? I got that set up. I met my bariatric therapist for my psych eval. We text off and on. Like, I don't do a regular session with her all the time, but hey, how you doing? I sent her a picture. She goes, oh my God, you did amazing. My therapist had bariatric surgery 5, almost 6 years ago now. So that helped a lot too. She had the bypass and she explained, some of the mental hardships that she went through and other things like that. And I really appreciate her having that knowledge, because there's nothing like somebody understanding what you're going through. And she was very adamant about, just checking in with people. She was like, if you don't check in with me, she's like, if you have somebody you can check in, just do that occasionally. She said on those days, she said, as women have a lot of hormones hitting them all the time. And she was like, if you have a dark day, you text somebody or say something to somebody or whatever you got to do. And I said, you got this. She was like, and don't let it go too long. She was like, everybody got a day where they got to sit in it and deal. But I've learned myself, I cannot sit in that too long, because Kyia brain go down the street and around the corner in the forest. And
I was gonna ask you, because like, I know anytime we engage with you, like, for the most part, you're positive, uplifting. How do you manage those days when, because we're all experiencing it, right? Like, I think it's fair to say most of us across this bariatric community, we have days that are great, a lot of highs, lows, peaks, and valleys. There's no linear path. I don't think anyone's just happy across the board. And life still life's for us, regardless of whether we're bariatric or not. Life is not like, oh, you know what? She's a DS patient, I'm gonna leave her alone. No, life be like, right. Knock, knock. How do you kind of juggle that? I heard you say a therapist, so take note of that, guys. But outside of your therapist, do you do anything to cope? Is like your gym, your therapy? Like, what does that look like for you?
Gym. I be in the gym, like I said, 5-6 days a week, an hour to 2 hours, sometimes some a little bit longer if I get a little off track of the time. I sing, I write, so that helps too. I like my car chronicles that I do sometimes, how I am in the car. Sometimes I just need to be away. It's hard to be away because I do have a younger child, so that does it for me as well. But I will put some music on a lot of times, and that kind of helps me. And that's the way that I kind of just break myself down. I'm like, all right, here's what you got to do. Here's how you're feeling. Make your playlist, push out them feelings a little bit. And that helps a lot. If it's really bad, I usually don't call people or text people when it is bad. I'm like, let me just chill by myself. But I do have enough people who care about me that actually reach out to me or check on me. Shout out to my Bari sisters. They know who they are. That will be like, hold up, we ain't heard from Kyia in a day or so. What you doing? Why you ain't answering? Why you ain't text me? Blah, blah, blah. And I
Right.
respect that, and I appreciate it so much, because sometimes you just don't want to have to burden other people with that feeling.
No,
So,
I understand that. And I think that just the nature, if y'all know it's Taurus, we don't like asking for help. We be out here thinking we emotional gangsters. Meanwhile, we low key sensitive as can be. So if y'all know, y'all know. Now what's next for you, Kyia? Do you have any goals or anything when you reach your next milestone, something that you want to do that it's been on your list to do now that you're kind of making the weight loss and you're having some progress there? Is this, I know one of the things, but I ain't gonna put it out there. So you tell them what you want to tell them, okay?
my next big thing to do is I'm taking my baby to Walt Disney World. I'm taking her to Disney World. I don't know what we're gonna do. We just gonna run around like crazy people the whole time. That is the big thing. I want to give my baby a big adventure.
Yes.
We're gonna get our passports by the end of the year,
Okay.
and then we're gonna travel. Mommy, daughter, travel. And then I'm gonna leave her with her grandma and her aunties, and then mommy's gonna go travel, be on somebody's island, doing
Okay.
Lord knows what. But I'm single, and I'm gonna be on somebody's island. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not a get naked type of girl necessarily, but I'll be cute. I do it occasionally,
Okay.
every once in a while. I'll be cute. I don't have no problem doing that. So that is
You're
kind of
gonna
where I
shake
am.
some.
Sometimes I already do. It just don't. I just don't. Put it out there like that. But yeah. I really just want to focus on making Kyia happy. I work so hard to keep other people happy. I love making people happy. I love, cheering people on, all that kind of stuff. You kind of, and a good amount of people know. I love to be positive because it does something for me as well as, building other people up. And it takes a lot for me to not be positive. I will say that. But that is one of my things, to just kind of maintain that for myself, and then also let the sunshine spread to everyone and show all the love and all that good stuff. So, you know,
Yes.
it is 100% a choice, but also just something I like to do in general.
Do you think you feel like little mama, your daughter, for those who don't know, she has a daughter. Do you think she's noticed a change in you, or has she said
Oh
anything
yeah.
since you started losing the weight?
She sees the weight loss as mommy's getting ready to go out and play with me. So, we
Okay.
go out and do stuff. We play a little bit. She told me, "Mommy, you're getting skinny." I was like, "Oh, you want a cookie? Is that
Oh.
what it is? What So, um, I enjoy having the energy to do more with her, and that is almost the number one thing. Like I needed to do this for myself, but to do more for her. I'm already an older mom, had her at 35, so But in general, the fact that, like, I can say, let's go take a walk, and she'd be like, all right, and she wants to skip around. I may not skip, but I'm like, I'm keeping up with you, and that's what matters.
That part.
And she recognizes that. She sees that. She sees the energy mommy has, and we can play and we can do this. I homeschool. So, I have a whole itinerary of um adventures we get ready to go on. As this weather starts to be less of a winter and more of a spring. Um we're about to do like an Easter egg hunt probably. I'm gonna have to help
Oh,
her find them Easter eggs. I'm gonna have to
okay.
get on the floor. I'm probably going to crawl around a little bit. So
A
I'm gonna
lot of
need to
it.
be prepared, right, and keep up with her.
That part. And Kia got the Megan the Stallion knees. Y'all should see her all flexible in the car. Listen, I don't even got them knees, and I lost 120 pounds, and I'm like, where them knees? When they coming in? Does it come with the package? I don't think all of us get those
Mm-hmm.
knees. Hey, Lisa.
The knees just they've been it was I've always had good knees, and then right before Christmas my left knee decided
Okay.
that it was like I want to be a 40-year-old knee, and I was like, hey, I don't need one knee that's in its like 2030s and one knee that's in its 40s. So I went into PT. I also did my own research for before I went to PT, before I started PT, so that I could start working out, and it actually helped. Um, should you find that your knee starts acting up or your joints start acting up, of course you still see a medical professional, but don't be afraid to be like, okay, what else can I do? Am I being active enough? Am I getting like my collagen and things like that? Because I did make an effort to increase my collagen intake and foods that had collagen in it and things like that, because your bone shift, that's one thing they told me. Your bone shift, your joints will shift back and forth. The fluid comes out because you're losing this weight. I have lost over 200 pounds and I'm not done. And so when I was down on myself at first, and then I said, you can't be down on yourself for losing that much weight. You're saving your life. You made the decision to save your life. Your doctor did the procedure, but you made the decision, and that was very important to me to do.
Yeah, I think a lot of people forget, like, while this is a tool, right? Because you can have the tool and do nothing with it, because we've seen it. But you not only got the tool, but you continue to show up for yourself. And I think that's so freaking important, and underestimated a lot of times. I think I also went into it kind of thinking, I'm gonna get the surgery and then I'm gonna come out the surgery skinny. Delusional. Y'all know I'm a little delulu, but Kyia shows up, and let me tell you, sometimes she shows up at 5 a.m. I literally, I admire that about you, because like the level of dedication, the fact that you show up for yourself, and not only just show up for yourself, but like show up in the community. You inspire other people to want to get up and get going. I'm the people. You inspire me, and I'm gonna get my behind into the gym. I promise you. As soon as I get the green light and my C-section has healed, I will be in the gym. I don't know about 5 a.m, but I will be there, and I'll take a picture for y'all.
And I'm gonna cheer you on, so that's what matters. You're gonna have your support.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that. And Kyia is a huge cheerleader in this community. And that's one of the things that I think we need, right? Because while I think I've said this 1,000 times, while our family wants to be supportive, it's hard. Like, they don't really fully grasp what goes into this process, this journey. So having people who are experiencing the same things you're going through, and maybe not exactly, but have a better understanding of the process, is important. Now, I know we're getting close to the end of the time, but for those who are on the fence and are like, man, I don't know, should I move forward? What would you tell them? What are some of your like closing thoughts in terms of like moving forward with bariatric surgery, or not moving forward? You might feel like they may not need to do that. What will you tell those people?
The surgery will not fix your relationship with food. You need to be working on that before you have surgery. If the steps to be successful in this surgery are too much for you, like if you don't feel like you have to, you don't always have to measure, but if you don't want to measure, if you don't want to learn what a proper portion size looks like for you, or will look like for you, then maybe it's not for you. But I also want to say, if you are willing to put in the work, then you are going to learn so much. Hey, and and if you put in the work, this tool works if you work. And I've said it a few times. It's really cliche, but it's 100% true. Every time I fall off or feel like I'm falling off, I go back and I look at my tracker, or I look at what I've done, because I'm very honest in my tracker. I may have had 75 Reese's Pieces one day, and then I'm like, you know what, you can't keep doing this if you want to be successful. And so the tool works if you work. And I tell people that all the time. And love yourself. I struggle with that sometimes. I do, but I've been working on it. Love yourself enough to do this, enough to do something for you.
Absolutely. Agree. 1,000%. I think it's literally the biggest act of self-love, self-care. You're deciding to take ownership of your life. I mean, like, you can sit around, and I'm not saying bariatric surgery is for everyone, but if you've reached this point, I think a lot of us don't just go straight to bariatric surgery. We've gotten to a level where we've tried a lot of different things. Bet on you. Dare to bet on yourself. And I love that you said that, Kyia. Um, love on you. You only get one
Yes.
you, and you only get, there's no repeat on life. Like, you get one life. uh, Now, while some folks come close to like not being here with us and still stick around, that's one thing. But, um, if you have an opportunity to do something that's going to give you more life, and the after effect is you look better, you're here longer for the people you love. I say do your due diligence, and if it makes sense, go for it. So, you
Exactly.
guys, I know we have reached our time here. Just want to go ahead and thank my guest, Kyia, for joining me tonight. Just another reminder, we are live again next week, Sunday. Y'all know the times, but for those who don't, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific time. Berry Mill Experience, same time on Taco Tuesday. And y'all know I like to close it out with my words, my uplifting words. So, you
Hmm.
guys, y'all know people throw shade at things that shine. So I'm gonna need y'all to throw them shades on and shine brighter, okay? And when in doubt, just blind these mother lovers, okay? So keep shining, friends. Keep loving on yourself. Remember, other people's opinions of you are not any of your business. So, with that being said, we love you guys. Bye. Thank you,
Bye.
Kyia.
You're
Bye.
welcome.